Hi, it's Peggy at Portraits by Peggy, and today I'm going to answer some of your questions. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to tune in today. So I realized that people ask me pretty much the same questions over and over and over, so I decided to make a vlog and answer some of your questions, and hopefully this will be insightful for you. Some of the questions that are asked kind of go back and they kind of interweave. So I'm going to start with this question. It says, I look at photographers' websites and most all websites look pretty much the same. They all have beautiful people, movie stars, etc. How do I know which one is the best one for me? Okay, this is actually a really, really good question because all photographers are not created equally. You've probably heard me say that before. The one thing we have in common is we all use a camera. But there are portrait photographers, there are landscape photographers, there are headshot photographers, there are commercial photographers, there are real estate photographers, there are tons of different kinds of photographers, and we're not all great at everything. Some of us are better at some things and better at others. So make sure that the photographer you want is a photographer that specializes in what you need. In other words, you may hire me to do your headshots, but if you have a condo for sale, you might not hire me to take those pictures. You see the difference? So make sure the photographer meets your needs. Now, as far as, hey, most of the websites have beautiful people, blah, 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 this kind of goes along with another question that I'm asked a lot, and here it is. I've seen these posts that ask for models and actresses to get their pictures taken by bunches of photographers for free. They get to use my pictures and I get to use the pictures for my portfolio, etc. What is that? Okay, what this question, I'm sorry, it was worded really weird. What they're talking about is normally called trade for print. And what that means is you come in, let me take your pictures. I'm not going to charge you, but I'm going to use your pictures in my portfolio and you can have the images. A lot of times these images are not edited. They're just straight from the camera. The other thing that happens a lot of times with these is one photographer who owns equipment will have other photographers, wannabe photographers, photographers in training, people that just bought a camera, will pay him a fee or her a fee, will pay the person that owns the equipment a fee, and they will bring models or actresses or people in, and the one person that has a little bit of knowledge will set up all the lighting, will set up the basic posing, and all the other photographers or people with cameras will take these pictures. And here's the dangerous part for consumers, not so much for you. I mean, it's not that dangerous for you. If you have the time to do it and you want to do it, you may or may not get something good out of it. It may be a waste of your time. Worst case scenario, best case, you get a couple of shots you can use. But here's the problem for consumers. What will happen are these people that have cameras that took pictures using someone else's lighting, someone else set up the lighting and posing, they took the picture. They don't know how to set up the lighting and they don't know how to set up posing, but their pictures turned out great because somebody else did that. They will post those on their website or on their Facebook or on whatever they're using to advertise as their photography. So you think, wow, those are beautiful pictures. Well, it was probably a model or a very beautiful person to start with, pretty people. And B, someone else did the lighting and posing. So then you hire that person and you go and you're like, oh, wow, my headshots don't look anything like the rest of their work. Is something wrong with me? No, that photographer, or should I say that person with the camera, kind of tricked you. And so that's the thing you need to watch out for. So is the trade for print a bad thing? No, it could waste your time or you might get a couple of shots. But the danger in that is to the consumer because those people will oftentimes, and that's why a lot of the websites are stacked with movie stars or pretty people or models, because they go to these events where these people are at. and they kind of take the picture, but they're not the one actually, it's not their client, if that makes sense. So those are questions to ask. Did you really pose these? Were these really your clients on here? So that's a good thing to ask. So another question here is natural lighting better than studio lighting? Well, any professional photographer, and when I say professional photographer, I'm not just talking about someone that owns a camera that charges people money. I'm talking about someone that actually has training and knows how to use their equipment. Will tell you that anyone that boasts about, oh, I only use ambient lighting is code in the industry for I don't know how to use studio lighting. And you know, that's okay. Ambient lighting is beautiful lighting. You can get great ambient lighting shots. I personally love my studio lights. I love having control over it. It is very rare that I take a picture 100% ambient lighting. I usually at least have a fill flash on my camera. So even if I'm outside, I'm gonna shoot you with a little bit of flash to fill in, your eyes, because if you have shadows under your eyes, it makes your eyes look wrinkly and it makes you look heavier, all sorts of terrible things that it can do to you. So I'm gonna at least use a little bit of controlled lighting because I love to control the lighting, and I love to make you look your best with the lighting that I have. So is it better or worse? It's not a better or worse thing. It's kind of a fact that a lot of people don't have training on how to use lighting. And so, they're afraid of flash, they're afraid of lights because they don't have the knowledge of it. So anyway, those are the questions that I was asked today, and I get asked these a lot. So I hope this helped you. I hope this gives you a little bit of a hint on how to pick the best photographer and what some of the terminologies are and what some of the things are that go on. And I really would love to have a conversation with you to find out if we're a match. I would love to do your headshots. It would be an honor for me. Please go to YouTube, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. Make sure you leave me comments, leave me some questions, and maybe once a month I'll answer all of your questions. All right, guys, have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week.